Hello, I'm Michael, and I'm moderately militant. The fact that the Republicans in power have completely deregulated the cryptocurrency market is a giant get rich quick, richer, I should say, money grab for fraud. They've basically legalized fraud. And the fact that nobody is doing anything about that, and that there are literally $1 million scams going on every week by unscrupulous people who don't care about anybody and just care about making money. The problem I have is that if the American government collapses, what are your dollars going to be worth? They're not going to be worth anything. You know, people are actively trying to take down the American government and change it into basically a fascist state where the government has every right to do whatever they want to you and there's no recourse. In the southern states, a lot of them are already doing that. I've heard of people being dragged out of their cars if they refuse to take a sobriety test, and being dragged out of their cars and taken to the hospital and forcibly made to give blood. I think that's against our Constitution, but at this point, the highest office in the country is trying to stop our constitutional right of free speech, because the mass media we have is controlled by rich people who want to get richer, and they know that the way to do that is to cooperate with the people in office. You know, ABC lost a ton of money for Jimmy Kimmel, and, you know, if I were him, I would never go back on that network in my life, because they're obviously corrupt. They're obviously willing to do anything to stay afloat and to think that our president has the power to trample the Constitution is disgusting. And honestly, I'm embarrassed to call myself an American, but you have to stand up and do something about it. We can't go to rallies anymore. We have to go to protests. We have to stand up. We have to say something is wrong. We have to. Because if we don't do something soon, it's going to be too late. And if they take away the rights of one person, then they will take away your rights eventually. And that's what's so scary, is that everybody just seems to be going along with it like it doesn't matter. It does matter. If we don't have the right to speak our mind, then our government is no better than, like I said, fascism. I mean, we already have out-of-country black site prisons that we're sending people to with no crime, being held unconstitutionally, unlawfully in another country that is run by a fascist leader. And I don't know anything more un-American than what's going on. everybody is live streaming about how wonderful Charlie Kirk was and how his widow is going through such a hard time. She's such a liar. They were already rich, and she started a GoFundMe account because she wanted more money, and it already has probably more than $5 million in it from people who have nothing. They have nothing, and they're giving to this person who is already wealthy and is talking about hate. And a Republican shot Charlie Kirk because he was such a racist prick. And honestly, he deserved worse than what he got. This is a very scary time for our country. I'm terrified. And I have no skin in the game. You know, I just want to try and make sure that something like World War II never happens again, because people need to watch and look at the camps and realize that that's what we're doing right now to people that don't agree with us. This is terrible. And our country is being turned into something that I never thought it would be. And the Republicans are ruling by fear. You know, no hope. They never say things are going to get better, or, you know, what they say is you need us or you're going to die. And the fact is, we don't need them. We don't want them. They are corrupt assholes. And I'm pretty sure the president needs to go to prison because he has done horrible things. And the Democrats are at fault as well. I mean, I'm not a sexist or racist, but I am smart. And to lose to Donald Trump once with a white woman who's very established in politics and who has name recognition, you know, and you didn't even freaking try and win because you thought you had that election in the bag. And then after you lose to Trump with a white woman, you run a black woman. I mean, how insane is that? Like, I think she would have done a much better job running the country than what's going on right now. But the fact of the matter is, if you can't win with a white woman who's been, you know, Secretary of State, why would you choose a black woman to run when all you had to do was find some white man in his mid-40s that was not so critical, or not a racist, who was not sexist, who didn't want to turn America into the thing that it never was supposed to be. And I don't understand MAGA hats, because when was America not great? It's turning into something that is a hateful, jealous, and petty country. Our government is disgusting. The leaders of our country are disgusting. Trump wouldn't even fly flags at half-mast for when Jimmy Carter died, and he's a president. But he flew them for Charlie Kirk, who was an influencer at best, who had a TV, who had an online show and was racist and sexist and disgusting. And I think hopefully the Epstein list will come out and, Trump's name will be on top of it, because in my opinion, our president needs to go to jail forever. And all of his team, and the thing is, he has nominated a bunch of idiots for his cabinet that will do anything he wants, and they're ruining everything. They're defunding our schools. They're letting our infrastructure crumble. I mean, what do you do when you want to control a people? You make them ignorant, you make them poor, and you make them rely on you. Well, we need to get him out of office by any means necessary, because I love America, even though we've done incredibly shitty things our whole time as a country. But what America could be is amazing. But greedy people only care about themselves are ruining it. And that makes me very sad. I'm Michael, and I'm moderately militant. Let's do something about this.